Hey everybody, can you hear me? Can you see me? I am here in my office in Malibu, California. An early doctor's thing I had to deal with this morning, and I'm back home, and I was taking answers in the doctor's office while on Twitter, and I realized I hadn't been here talking to you Facebook folks for a long time. So I just thought I'd stop by, say hi, answer a couple questions, and then get back to work on Guardians of the Galaxy 3 over here. What's up, guys? How's it going? Hi, Martin. Hi, Bia. Hi, Malloy. Hi, Jim. What do I use in my hair? I don't know. I just use some stuff that I put in there, and then it's that. But it's my hair just kind of sticks up naturally. Any chance I would consider another foray into the horror genre? Yes. Yes, I am right now. God, my lips are really chapped, huh? Right now, I am producing a movie that my friend David Yarovesky is directing. He directed the Guardians Inferno video, and we're working on a low-budget film together that is quite interesting. The writing for Guardians 3 is going great. Any details at all you can say about Guardians 3? Not too many. I'm not sure if I can be at the Thor Ragnarok premiere. I'm not sure if I can make it. How big is your input on Infinity War? So your characters will stay true to the Guardians movies. It's very, very big. So everything that the Guardians does is I deal with. Oh, here's live viewers. Look at this. How does this work? What's up, people? Look at these are all the people that are live viewing. Very interesting. Interesting. How does this work? What's making me happy today? Same things that always make me happy. My dogs, my girlfriend, working on Volume 3. I'm actually having a really good time. Working on Starsky and Hutch. I did that yesterday with my brother Brian and my cousin Mark, and that was a lot of fun. Did I ever consider using the Elton John song Razorface in my films? I have not. Could I please save the Inhumans? It does not look like there is much saving left for the Inhumans. Thank you, Elena. Let's pick up somebody out of nowhere. Do you guys want to pick up somebody out of nowhere and say hi? So if you're live video watching, who wants to be? I don't know, how do I do this? Marvel and DC, which two do you like more? Do you like both equally? Which of the two do I like? Well, I've always been a big Marvel fan and a very big DC fan. I collected comics from both growing up. But I did have more Marvel comics than DC comics growing up. Anything I can say about the Guardians of the Galaxy ride coming to Epcot? Well, I'm telling you, I'm very excited about it, and I'm going to be doing some work on it next week, I believe. Does it take me long to select the soundtracks in my films? It does. It takes me an awful long time to work out those soundtracks and figure them out and make sure that the songs are right. And I go back and forth through a lot of choices. Most of the songs are already chosen for Volume 3. I've been working very hard on that, and it takes a long time and a lot of searching. What is my plan for Adam Warlock? Like, I can't tell you what my plan for Adam Warlock is. Was any part of Volume 3 affected by some unknown part in Avengers? There were no unknown parts because been a part of that. I've known what's going on in the story for a long time. But if you're asking me if Volume 3 is affected at all by Avengers 3 and 4, yes. It's Stephen King's birthday today. Yes, I know it is. It's happy birthday, Stephen King. He's turning 70 today. I was very lucky because I met Mr. King when I was 15 years old at a comic book convention or a science fiction convention in St. Louis, Missouri. And I got all of my books signed by him. So I still have all of my original Stephen King books, hardcovers of Firestarter and Dead Zone and The Stand, signed by Stephen King, which is pretty cool. And also in that same comic book convention, we rode in an elevator together, and it was very exciting for me to ride in an elevator with Stephen King, and he was nice to me, and I was wearing a Devo pin of the band Devo, and he said, "Are we not men?" which is a Devo thing. Anyway, so, and the other thing about it, the other time I talked to Stephen King is he was a guest on a radio show when I was a kid. I called him up. I was probably only 14 or so at this time, and he was on KMOX radio in St. Louis doing an interview, and I called him up because they were taking questions, and I said, "Mr. King, my favorite novel of yours is The Dead Zone. What is your favorite novel of yours?" And his answer was Salem's Lot. Those are my Stephen King stories. My favorite genre of music, gotta be rock and metal. Well, I don't know. It changes from year to year. I'm a big fan of Swedish rock. I have a lot of that. I'm a big fan of power pop, some of which you hear, like bands like the Raspberries and Cheap Trick and the Guardians movies. I'm a big fan of underground hip hop. So those are probably my favorite. I like a lot of post rock. So there's a lot of different things I like. And of course, punk rock, 70s, like late 70s punk rock is kind of was always traditionally my thing. You know, the bands like The Clash, The Jam, the Sex Pistols, the Buzzcocks, mostly British punk. That was always kind of my favorite thing. Will we get more Yondu? Well, Yondu, unfortunately, is... Spoiler, turn off your video. If you don't know, if you didn't see Volume 2, turn it off. Spoilers coming out of my mouth. Yondu's dead, for sure, for real, for always. Not going to change unless in the future I leave Marvel Studios and somebody else comes in and decides to desecrate his sacrifice and make it not important anymore. Would I consider directing another Marvel movie outside of Guardians? Well, I can tell you, for most likely, Guardians Volume 3 is definitely my last Guardians movie. Guardians Volume 3 is also the end of this iteration of the Guardians of the Galaxy. This is the final part of the trilogy. All three will fit together as one story. That's important to tell. So I think it is very unlikely that I would ever come back for another Guardians movie. But that doesn't mean I'm still working on other projects with Marvel in terms of developing them and where, you know, some of the characters from Guardians go, where some of the other cosmic characters we haven't even met yet, what happens with them and various ideas. So I'm dealing a lot with that, and that's important to me. So if you consider those Guardians movies, that's a different story. Everything changes. I mean, everything doesn't... Listen, the Guardians, you'll still be able to... Even if you don't watch you know... Somebody said everything changes after Infinity Wars, and it's not... You can still watch the three Guardians movies as a whole, and they'll still basically make sense with maybe a couple of little elements you're going to have to be caught up in. Oh, thank you. About my pop. I love my Funko Pop. I'm very excited about my Funko Pop. If you look online, you can see pictures of me with my Funko Pop. It's a toy, me, completely stoked on it. It is going to be available on October 5th on the Funko website. You can go buy it, and you can go get it in New York City Comic Con. In addition, I might have a few I might be giving out here on Facebook. So stay tuned here, and then we'll maybe get you a Funko Pop in the future. Michael Bloom asked me, have you started your Malibu delivery service yet? And no, I have not, and the reason is because Postmates has come to Malibu. I can now get all my food delivered through Postmates, which is fabulous, and I've had my problems with Postmates in the past, but I'll tell you, they've been wonderful so far in Malibu. I've really liked what they've done, and of course they are much better than the service that shall not be named, which some of you know about. Which actually got worse after I posted what I posted about Malibu delivery service. My girlfriend had to change her phone number because the guy was calling and leaving messages calling her the C word endlessly. So we had to really truly, she would come back and there would be, now people don't know what happened. So there's this company called Malibu Delivery Service who delivers, to Malibu for $100 a month, and they irrationally sort of attacked my girlfriend, and so I wrote something mean about them online. That got them further upset, and it's one guy, and he kept calling my girlfriend endlessly, again and again, using the C word and other things to describe her, not just casually in conversation, as some of us do. And she had to change her phone number. All right, I got to go pretty soon, but what do I have to answer? What questions do I have to answer before I go? What's the big question here? How are all the critters doing? They're doing great, really, they really are. Do I hate the Nova Corps? I do not hate Nova Corps. Anything horror related on my plate? Yes, I'm producing a horror film. Ever listen to Psychobilly? Yes, of course. How hard is it to block fan theories and ideas when you are in early stages of the creative process in your productions, be it Starsky and Hutch or Guardians? I don't mind. I don't need to block fan theories. I find they can be interesting sometimes. I don't have a hard time blocking them because I only really see, in terms of fan theories, I mean, I'll occasionally go on a thread and read something, but very, very rarely, pretty much, when I'm online, I'm reading the news about what's going on with politics or the wonderful state of our world's weather system. And if any of you guys are watching from Mexico or Puerto Rico or the islands, I hope you guys are all doing well and you're all safe right now. So I really don't read that much about, say, MCU fan theories. But when I do, it doesn't bother me. I pretty much have a clear idea of where things are going and what's happening with things as I move forward. For instance, the ending of Volume 3 is what I knew this was coming from the very beginning of Volume 1. It's all been going in the basic direction, so it doesn't really affect me that much. What did I think of the video of Kevin Smith crying watching Guardians 2? I found it really touching. I think I got a little weepy watching his weepy video because, it was just very sweet. And Kevin's a really nice guy, and that's the reaction I've gotten from a lot of people that have written me that Guardians Volume 2, which is available now on Blu-ray and DVD and 4K Ultra HD, is that it's affected people on a real deep and emotional level, and that's an unusual thing for most superhero films, and that means a lot to me that it affects people in that way. That's the reason why I make movies. So I was very touched by Kevin Smith's post. Okay. This guy says, kill Drax and I come after you. Well, who knows who I have intentions of killing, but I only kill people when it's a part of what the story is and it's a part of what's true to their character. And number one, when you guys say kill and I'll come after you, or you better not do this, or you do all that, it really always makes me more likely to do it. So anytime you guys say stuff like that, it makes me more likely to do it. Maybe it's because I have a problem with authority. Probably so. Who knows? But I don't like the messages on Twitter or Facebook or whatever that say, if you do this, I'll do this to you, or I'll kill you, or I'll punch you in the face, or you better not do this. I just don't like those posts. It's an irritant to me. And it's small of me. I realize this is small of me. I don't need to be so petty. But I am. All right. Okay, guys. I can't wait to see my take on Starsky and Hutch either. Sean is working on Avengers these days. That's where he is now. And I'm going to see him there in Atlanta soon, I believe. I'm going to be there pretty soon. Okay, guys. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm sorry. I keep reading more questions. See if there's more questions here. But will the lack of a cassette player affect the soundtrack? Did you see Volume 2? It will affect the soundtrack because it's not a cassette player. It is something else. And about that something else, we're going to have a very important message here in just a few days that involves that something else and you guys and the way that perhaps you guys can get one. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Love you all. Be safe. And for those of you who are in the world where these terrible things are happening, you know, God bless all of you. I hope you're doing all right. I'm thinking about you guys, and really, I'm with all of you guys. And be safe.